Good morning, everybody. Want to welcome you to today's webcast. The Delmarva Power and Pepco team here to present Delve into Building Tune-Up Benefits. Thank you for joining us. Hope everybody has a cup of coffee or tea, favorite beverage. We want to talk about ways to help enhance, be more efficient in your buildings, in your facilities. So my name is Steve Weaver. I want to thank you again for attending. A couple of quick housekeeping notes are we have in the right-hand pane under the GoToWebinar the different handouts, slide decks, as well as some informational sheets on the programs. You can access them there. We will be recording the session, and then we will send that out to attendees. Also, our contact information will be provided so we can continue a dialogue and discuss any questions or projects you may have. So everybody will be in mute only mode. If you do have a question, please feel free to come off mute, ask it at that time, or if you're more comfortable, you can type it into the chat feature or function with the webinar platform. And want this to be informal, be able to engage in dialogue if you have questions. So really geared to you as building owners, facility managers, and help you become more efficient. So thanks very much. Let's get started. Want to start today with a safety message. We're approaching a major holiday weekend. The weather is looking to be nice, so there may be many of you, whether with family, friends, neighbors, doing some grilling. Grilling safety, it's extremely important, whether you're at home, at a park, somewhere, out with friends. Make sure to only use a grill outside. You want to check your grill for leaks. Keep children, pets in your home 3 feet away from the grill. Never leave your grill unattended. Always clean your grill after use, wear appropriate clothing, and have a fire extinguisher nearby. So over the course of this weekend, please remember those tips. A lot of times grilling accidents happen with large gatherings and many things going on. So we want everybody to have a fun, enjoyable weekend, but please be safe while grilling and around flames. So I want to go over today's agenda. We're going to talk about Empower Maryland quickly. You may or may not know Empower Maryland if you're new to the Coffee Break series. Then we're going to delve into building tune-up benefits, why perform a building tune-up, what the benefits are, and then Q&A. So Empower Maryland, what is it? It was legislation enacted by the PSC back in 2008, or excuse me, by the General Assembly, tasking major Maryland utilities to reduce their consumption. So they were tasked with 15% reduction by 2015. They met those goals. In subsequent cycles in years, they've been tasked with 2% reductions year over year. The way the programs are structured, they are on a 3-year program cycle. So our current cycle is 2021 to 2023. It will end at the end of this year, December 31st, and then the PSC will hear from the utilities, look for new iterations of these programs. We anticipate them being renewed, re-upped in the next cycle, 2024 to 2026, and we're excited to be able to provide programs for you as business owners, facility managers to become more energy efficient and incentivize those projects. When you look at Empower Maryland, why Empower Maryland? What are some of the benefits? So certainly there are financial savings when you're looking at your facility, when you're planning out projects, capital projects, operations and maintenance, different things that just may come up over the cycle and lifetime of buildings and business cycles. We have financial savings. You can see those financial savings. We help offset the cost of higher efficient equipment with our incentives. You also see an energy bill reduction, so your utility spend is less. Financial incentives are key to help drive your projects and then also sustain your businesses, your operations. Has a positive impact on the local economy. So certainly there's a variety of stakeholders on many of your projects, whether it's internal folks, whether it's contractors, vendors, service providers, different businesses helping come together, become a project stakeholder team. So it's helping to utilize multiple organizations working with the utility, yourself, and then other stakeholders. Creates jobs. So certainly as different projects arise, different firms need to hire, need to have staff on hand to do these projects and help move forward. So those are just a few of the benefits, but we can move on. So now I want to delve into building tune-up benefits. We're first going to look at what a building tune-up is. We're going to quickly touch on the building tune-up structures or programs we have, but then we'll really look at what you're here for, the benefits, how you can benefit from pursuing a building tune-up. A building tune-up is a process for fine-tuning of building systems so they operate at optimum efficiency. It focuses on equipment performance rather than a replacement. And lastly, it clearly identifies specific energy savings opportunities. So one of the great things about building tune-up is you may look at some of the incentive pathways we have or programs and wonder, well, I'm not ready to purchase a new piece of equipment, or I'm not ready to make X decision on replacing whatever system it is. This program is designed to help current systems operate more efficiently. You don't have to make a purchasing decision on a new piece of equipment or a new solution. So we have, excuse me, 4 different pathways. Our small building tune-up is for buildings less than 75,000 square feet. Again, intended to help increase the performance, enhance the performance of systems within the building. So you can look at a lighting system, ventilation system, space cooling and heating, water heating, compressed air, and more. The requirements or how you would pursue one are a detailed investigative report will be done. Oftentimes it can be a level 1 or level 2 ASHRAE audit. It can be an informal energy study or analysis. In that process, either yourself or a qualified contractor or a service provider would be able to develop a list of energy conservation measures. With each measure, there's going to be a little bit of a narrative about it. There'll be a savings analysis. There'll also be a cost analysis, and you come up with that list. We review that, then you move forward with implementing those. The incentive is 75% of the total project cost, or 20 cents per kWh saved annually, the lesser of those two, and the cap is $25,000 per project. Full building tune-up, same process, it's just for larger buildings. So buildings that are greater than 75,000 square feet, and they would have a building management system, energy management system, they would have a control system for the mechanical and other systems within the building, kind of a centralized operating system. Same process flow again, a building audit will be conducted, different energy conservation measures or facility improvement measures. There are various terms in the industry for those would be developed. Those would then be reviewed. We would pre-approve the project, then you could implement the solutions and then move forward. The incentive here is, and I do apologize, that slide is incorrect. The incentive is over a $25,000 cap, so we will make a revision to that. But it is 75% of the project cost, or 20 cents per kWh saved annually, maximum of $100,000. Monitoring-based commissioning, this is a multi-phase approach. It's an ongoing process to resolve any operating issues. So we pay out incentives in 2 phases, in a phase 1 and a phase 3. So in phase 1 is where you have a contract with a monitoring firm, which we would call a service provider. So they collect utility bill analysis, perform analysis. Phase 3 is corrective actions have been implemented, have been taken. So when you look at the incentive, we pay 25% of the monitoring contract with that vendor. It's capped at $8,000. And then phase 3 is 17 cents per kWh saved annually. It's capped at $200,000 for a single building or $300,000 for a campus style building. One quick note in that last dialog box, we do pay an additional incentive if you perform a level 2 ASHRAE audit. It's 4 cents per square foot. It is not required to participate, so you can still do a monitoring-based commissioning program without a level 2 audit. However, if you do, there's additional incentives available. Lastly, we want to touch on HVAC tune-up. So this is for buildings, facilities that have direct expansion or heat pump units. Think maybe a split system, packaged rooftop unit. So oftentimes you may be having a service provider perform annual maintenance on that. You may have staff that do annual maintenance. You can receive incentives. a pathway for incentives with our programs on those. So typically some of the actions that are taken during this: clean the evaporator and condensing coils, replace filters. So those are very common elements to preventative maintenance with different contractors. We can pay $140 for 3-ton units and over, or $30 per ton for under 3 tons, excuse me. So that was a quick overview of our different programs. But now let's talk about the benefits. Why perform a building tune-up? It helps your facility become more energy efficient. It identifies and resolves energy inefficiencies in building systems. So as we talked about, a study would be performed, an audit would be done, and that way a variety of measures or a list of measures will be identified in areas that are inefficient. It then allows you to correct those. So it's going to significantly reduce energy consumption by analyzing and adjusting HVAC systems, lighting controls, other equipment. It could be process load equipment in the building. If you have some specialized systems, compressed air, or if you're in manufacturing and have some specialty equipment, it can help those systems operate more efficiently. It also helps organizations meet sustainability goals and reduce their carbon footprint. Another quality is improved comfort and indoor air quality. Certainly, we've seen indoor air quality become a hot topic here as of late for a variety of reasons. Given the COVID-19 pandemic, air quality was certainly paramount. And now looking at some of the current events, some of the wildfires across North America, and then how it's affected cities, buildings, individuals across the country, the air quality. So certainly as you have building occupants inside, you want to maintain and make sure the air quality is high. So by performing a building tune-up, it's going to help those systems operate more efficiently. It'll allow you to control the temperature, the humidity levels, and the ventilation systems. It'll create a healthier environment, identifying and addressing inadequate airflow or poor air quality issues. Lastly, improves indoor air quality that can lead to increased productivity, reduces absenteeism, and enhances occupant satisfaction. So it's going to allow your staff, allow your visitors to be in your facilities, be more productive. It's going to help them produce or accomplish their goals. Another benefit is extended equipment lifespan and reduced maintenance cost. So as you're helping these systems become more efficient, maybe you're replacing a filter on a rooftop unit, maybe you're changing the scheduling of a chiller plant system, maybe you're changing the set points. That's going to help the equipment last longer. It's going to help maintain that piece of equipment in a longer life cycle. It's going to identify and rectify operational problems that may strain building systems and equipment. As mentioned here earlier, extends equipment lifespan by ensuring optimal performance and eliminating unnecessary stress on mechanical systems. It'll reduce frequent and costly repairs, leading to long-term cost savings. So as you perform building tune-ups, you may see less of a need to have on-call technicians or just a break fix need arise. And then lastly, regulatory compliance. The area we live in, Maryland here, we're also closely aligned with Washington, D.C., Northern Virginia. It's a very populated area. There's a variety of regulatory compliance needs that you as an owner may need to conform to. So it's going to help commercial buildings conform to energy codes and regulatory requirements, supports energy performance standards, and aligns with legislative mandates to avoid penalties. So as you can see, there's a variety of benefits to building tune-up, and it's not strictly one silo, such as maybe a financial or maybe a mechanical or a regulatory. It's all of those sectors or all of those silos. So in summary, a building tune-up can boost your bottom line and can contribute to a greener, more sustainable future. It enhances energy efficiency, improves building occupants' comfort, extends equipment lifespan, reduces maintenance cost, helps to meet regulatory requirements. So Also want to touch on the energy savings for business program portfolio. As you can see kind of in the middle line on the left, that's the building tune-up pathway. We do have other pathways. So as you look at your facility, your energy goals, your energy efficiency goals, where your future 1, 3, 5-year plans are, there are a variety of ways to participate in Empower Maryland. We have prescriptive programs, we have custom programs, new construction, combined heat and power, business instant discounts, energy efficient communities, and small business. Note, a few of them are kind of member or closed programs, so there are certain requirements to participate. That would be 1, the energy efficient communities, and 2, the small business program. So we would want to discuss your specific site, your specific facility, to see if it is eligible or if that's a viable solution. We also want to touch on additional funding sources. So as you're looking to pursue projects or looking to come up with a energy efficiency plan, Maryland Energy Administration is a great resource. We work closely with them. If you're located in Montgomery County Green Bank, they're a great local green bank. Maryland PACE, we work closely with them as well. So these are partners in ways that we work collaboratively with them, and then for your projects, you can work collaboratively with them. Excuse me. So that concludes the presentation. I want to open the floor to any questions that we may have. And I can let everybody unmute, or if you have a question, please go ahead and ask that through the chat feature. So I see one question here talking about when I had mentioned the energy audit that is performed. Question is that something I do myself, or do you do that for the start of a project? So that's a great question. Thank you. So in terms of who performs the energy audit to kind of kick off a potential building tune-up, so we, as the program administrators, we don't necessarily perform the audit. We have, that can be done by yourself or in-house staff if they have those capabilities. We also have a list of service providers that are registered with the program that perform these services. So you can certainly, and we can make sure to export that or share that with you as a participant in today's call. So each of them would be able to come on site and perform an audit. That would be a decision you make as a business owner for your facility, who to use or how to go about that. Now, we don't have a direct incentive for strictly the building energy audit, but how you can see an incentive for that is if there is a cost for that audit, and that's determined between the service provider or the entity performing that, that can get rolled into the total project cost. So we don't have like a separate line item where there's an incentive for that. However, it is included in the total project cost. So hopefully that provides some clarity and answers the question.
Hey, Steve, I've got another question here. It's come through. When's the best time to look at building tune-ups as an option for our business?
Sure. Thanks for that question. So honestly, I guess any time is always a good time to look at a building tune-up for your organization or your business. One thing I would say is, so you can look at a building that may be a little bit older, so the systems are a bit older and maybe hasn't been regularly maintained. So you could see great energy savings from a building tune-up at that point in time. Honestly, we have seen some projects come across the building tune-up pathway that where the building age honestly wasn't too old. Certainly a lot of firms, and as projects develop, new construction projects, there's a lot of moving parts. very dynamic. So sometimes commissioning agents or so forth on a new construction project, they may not have the time or do the thorough walkthrough to commission all systems properly. So there could be an instance where it's a relatively new building, however, there's simultaneous heating and cooling. So that would be an inefficiency in building performance or building operation. So it's not mutually exclusive to only old buildings. Does that help provide some insight?
Not seeing any other questions come through, Steve, so I think we're good.
Okay. I think the last slide is some upcoming webinars. We appreciate you attending today's coffee break. We do have one scheduled for a few weeks from now. It continues our series, so we would certainly invite you to participate in those. You'll see communication to register and then attend those here soon. So please be on the lookout for that. And then lastly, again, want to thank everybody for attending today. Hopefully you're able to understand the benefits of a building tune-up better, maybe get one or two ideas out of this. And certainly if you do have questions or projects, we're here to help. Want to, again, thank everybody and wish everybody a happy and safe holiday weekend.